Thank you. Again, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. We're hoping that this meeting will not be the entire hour and 45 minutes, but we will see. The first thing I want to mention is, as you all know, this is a new program year. So I want to encourage you to please pay your dues. We are going to share some community events to kind of show you what we do when we collect your dues. This your dues actually go back to community events, and of course, you all know we do scholarships every year to our deserving students within the boundaries of LRCA. Um, this program, last program year, we actually gave away $4,000. So I want to just encourage you to pay your dues. If you need a paper membership form, you can always give me a call. I will drop one off to you. And for those of you all who are computer savvy, you know that you can pay online at lrcadc.org. The other thing about the dues this year is that we will have membership forms, cards. We did not get a chance to do that the last program year, but we will do it this program year. So we are now updating the cards. We will deliver those that did not pay online. We can deliver yours, but I think we're going to have an option online for those of you all who can go online and you can print your membership card. However, if you want a card delivered, you can just let us know. The next thing I want to mention is the 75th anniversary will be next year. Miss Barbara Carter is actually the 75th anniversary committee chair. So I want to thank Miss Barbara for volunteering to do that. She will provide an update later on. We haven't gotten very far. We have actually chosen a date because next year will be we'll be voting on new officers next year in May. So we chose a date in April, and I'll let Miss Barbara tell you a little bit more about. Again, it's in the planning stages, so we don't have a lot of answers, but she can at least tell you the date and time and location. I do want to thank the 4B Commission for granting us a $3,000 grant. We applied for this grant, and I do want to thank Allison Brooks, our wonderful chair, and my commissioner until December. But I do want to thank her for letting us know about the grant. And again, we did apply for the grant and we were granted the $3,000. The grant has to be used for, we're going to use it for like our Zoom expenses, that sort of thing. It was restrictions on what you could use the money for. So again, thank you 4B Commission and all the commissioners that voted for us to get the grant. We also will be applying for a Walmart grant. We are partnering with council member Janice Lewis George, to do a turkey giveaway for seniors and families that need turkeys. And if we have Jim on, he may talk a little bit about that, but it's going to be at the Lamond Recreation Center, and it will be on November 19th, which is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and it'll be from 11 to 1. So that is all I have for my announcements. Again, I just want to thank you all for taking time out your busy schedule to be with us tonight. At this time, we will have the invocation from Reverend Paul.
Amen. God bless you. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for how you have kept us from all harm and danger. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercies. But most of all, God, we thank you for your presence. Now, Father God, as we enter into this moment of meeting of the minds in the best interest of our community, we ask that you give us the spirit of reasoning together. While it's great, it's fine to disagree, let it certainly not be disagreeable. Because we know that the favorable outcome will be for the benefit of our community. And so, God, again, we thank you for all that you have done for us. We ask for special blessings for all the bereaved families and those who are afflicted by sickness, financial, and or health-related issues, that we know that you are present help, even in the time of trouble. So we're anxious for nothing, for we know that you're always present. This is our prayer. In the Master's name, amen.
Amen. Okay, I think now we're gonna share some pictures with you of, oh no, we're gonna do housekeeping.
Okay, so tonight, just to go over some of our housekeeping rules. First and foremost, during question periods, please raise your hand by selecting the little button on your screen. If you have, when appropriate, if you have questions or like to address a comment that is presented by our speaker, please keep your comments brief, focus, and eliminate all background noise. We'll mute anyone that we hear any background noise coming from, just for the sake of the meeting and allowing the meeting to continue to flow. Like that.
Sounds like you gotta mute somebody now.
You'll have 30 seconds to ask a question. Limit your response to one question. Additional questions should be placed in the chat. Additional questions will be responded to if time allows. Please remain muted unless you are speaking. This will help to eliminate the distraction of background noises, as stated before. No shouting. Okay, let's mute again. No shouting or inappropriate language. I'm sure that won't happen during this meeting. And please follow all the above, or because we really would hate to kicking anyone out of the meeting. So let's have an enjoyable meeting tonight. Thank you.
Exactly. And so just to emphasize, please do not unmute yourself and just start talking. Please raise your hand or put it in the chat if you have a question. All righty. So now we're going to share some of the events we've had in the community from last year and this year. So this was one of our, I think, first events that we put on. Reverend Mays and Mr. Edgar, the chairs there, did such a wonderful job in putting this together. This was a Mother's Day tea that was held at the Ridge LaSalle Recreation Center. We had a lot of mothers there. Councilwoman Lewis George was there. Miss Settles, of course, did a phenomenal job with the decorations, as you can see. I call her my Black Martha Stewart because she is just awesome with decorating. So that was one of the events that we put on. We fed the mothers. We also gave each mother a gift. We had cups made that Angie made that actually had a nice Mother's Day message, and Reverend Mays and I delivered these two because they weren't ready by the event, unfortunately, but we hand delivered the cups. Reverend Mays actually made some bookmarks with the Mother's Day message on it. So just a great event. Next, we had the Father's Day brunch. Again, I was not available for that event, but I hear that it was, again, another great turnout. A lot of fathers came out. Mr. Edgar did a great job of hosting. It looks like there, Miss Settles was there. But again, and for the Mother's Day and the Father's Day, for Mother's Day, we had some children from Riggs LaSalle, LaSalle Bacchus to come, and they did a Mother's Day poem and a Father's Day poem. So again, another great event that is what we use, when we collect dues, we're giving this back to our community. Next, Angie. This was Earth Day. And LRCA, we donated flowers here that Reverend Mays, LaRoya, Tish, other community members, Anthony Mitchell from the mayor's office came out, but neighbors came out, and we actually planted these right in front of the sign there at the Riggs LaSalle, right at the corner of Riggs and Nicholson. Next. Okay, this was our certificate. All of you all that are familiar with LRCA, at the end of every program year, we do certificates for people that have volunteered their time. We do it to community leaders. We do it to our ANCs, our council members, the mayor, all of those that have supported LRCA during that program year. And this was an event that we did this summer as well, just to thank people for their support. This was the Friends of Riggs LaSalle Recreation. They gave us a $2,000 donation. They actually also gave a donation to the Friends of. So that was a great event as well. This was a community dedication for the new townhomes that are right there across from Walmart. Again, LRCA was well represented. We were actually acknowledged, by the mayor of doing great work. LRCA was part of this from the beginning. The picture up there, we have some older or previous development task force members there with the mayor. This was special. You all may remember Mr. and Mrs. Adams. They lived at the home right at the corner of Riggs and Eastern. Mr. Adams died a few years ago, but Mrs. Adams celebrated her 95th birthday. So a few of us, Miss Juanita, Tish and myself actually went there, and we presented her with a card from LRCA for her birthday. But a lot of you all that have been members for a while, you all remember Miss Adams because they never missed an LRCA meeting, as far as I know. So we just wanted to just let her know that we're thinking about her and we do miss her in the community. This was the Lillian J. Huff library dedication. Again, LRCA was well represented there. We have pictures there of Ms. Huff's daughter, the mayor, council member, Louis George was there, McDuffie was there. We had a host of people that were there, but just a great event. There were people that had different stations set up there, but again, great event in our community. Art all night. This is a combination of a couple of pictures, but we did art all night, a great event that the Parks Main Street put on. It gets better and better every year. There is our executive director, Edwin Washington, did a great, like I said, just a great event. There were also pictures in there on the previous screen of the Modern, they have music talents bands every Friday in the summer. And I attended this one. This was an awesome band there. But again, these are free events that are happening in our community. Next, anything else? Oh, Halloween. LRCA, we supported 3 different events that were happening in our neighborhood for Halloween. We had a group of families at the Fort Circle Park there. They had something on that Saturday. Unfortunately, I could not make that one. And then on Sunday, we had the Lamond Community Action Group here did an excellent job. Theirs again gets better and better every year, but we do have a picture there of Heather and Gavin that they were at the Saturday event over at Fort Circle Park. But this is the Lamond did an excellent job. They did a parade. Mr. Gaston was the drum major, and they walked the community, and we ended up here on this street. There's a big group picture with the councilwoman. She came out in costume, but again, a great event. And if we can go back to the Riggs LaSalle, theirs was actually on Halloween Day. So these are pictures here. You see, our 2 center workers were there. They had the decorations, they had food for the kids, gift bags for the kids. Again, Miss Settles and the crew did an excellent job. As you can see, the kids were all in costume, and it rained, remember, Halloween, so the gym was packed. But again, just great events. LRCA did donate gift cards. We donated $50 to each event. For I think Lamond, they used them to give for the best costume. So anything else, Angie, after that, or is that it? That's it. Okay. So again, we just wanted to share with you all some of these community events that are going on, and to just show you how we are spending LRCA's. When you pay your dues, we're showing you how we're using that in our community. Okay, we are actually going to move forward with the agenda. We're going to do the officers' report. And we're going to have the minutes. No, let's start with the treasurer's report. Is Audrey on?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Audrey. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. So this is Audrey Walker, our treasurer, and she's going to give us our treasurer's report.
Thank you. I'm here to present the treasurer's report for today, November 7th, 2022. Our beginning balance was $7,346.94. Deposits were made in $425 in membership dues for a total deposit of $425. There were 3 expenses last month, excuse me. The LRCA newsletter was $330. The Mother's Day reimbursement was $192.02. And the Halloween event gift card donation was $150 for a total expense of $672.02. And our ending balance is $7,099.92. I hope everyone has a blessed day.
Thank you, Audrey. Can anybody have any questions on the treasurer's report? If not, can I get a motion to accept the treasurer's report as just reported by Audrey Walker?
I'll make a motion that the treasurer's report be received.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion. We need to mute somebody, I think, but we have a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report as just reported by our treasurer, Audrey Walker. Angie, can we unmute everybody? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, So the motion passes that we accept the treasurer's report. We're going to now move on to the minutes as they were printed in the November 22nd newsletter. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes as they are printed in the November 22nd newsletter? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes that are printed in the current newsletter for the month of
Yes.
November.
Can I get a second?
I second that.
Thank you. So the motion has been moved and second that we accept the minutes as they are printed in the November 22nd newsletter. We do have a slight change to the agenda. We were recently notified that no one from the Attorney General Carl Racine's office will be available at this time. So I quickly got a replacement. We will have David Gaston, who is our library manager, will fill in that slot. And so thank you so much, David, for agreeing to do so at the last minute. So let's make a motion that we change the agenda, and then we also have to move. This was only in the printed copy of the newsletter. It was not on the letter, what was uploaded. There is some kind of glitch, and we will have to figure that out. But it printed the budget review and approval. We will have that on next month's meeting because we will be preparing. Angie, can you mute whoever that is? We will be preparing the budget, and we will have it for review and approval. We'll do that at the December meeting, which is a little earlier than when we normally do it, but that's okay. So can I get a motion to change the agenda to remove the budget review approval from the agenda? And we're going to replace, call the Attorney General with David Gaston, our library manager. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, so it's been moved and second that there is a change to the agenda. We are removing the budget review approval line, and we are replacing the speaker, Attorney General Carl Racine, with David Gaston, our library branch manager. Can we unmute everybody? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? So the motion passes. It's been moved and second that again, we are removing the budget review approval line, and we're replacing the speaker, Attorney General Carl Racine, with David Gaston, our branch manager of the Riggs LaSalle Lillian Huff Library. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move right through the agenda. We actually have a new mocha from the mayor's office. It's a Christian Star Heel. I did not hear back, so Christian may not be on today, but I will make sure that we get on the schedule going forward. I think this was a recent appointment, so they are probably getting things together. We're going to move right along. Again, anybody here from the mayor's office? Okay. Do we have anyone from Councilmember Louis George's office? Is Jim on?
I am here.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Happy to be
Good.
here. So am I good to go?
You're good to go.
Excellent. So I'll start my video. Hi, everyone. I'm out on my back porch. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Jim Lewis. I am a Riggs Park resident and a constituent services coordinator for Councilmember Louis George. So if you call our office or email it, it's a pretty good chance that you're going to be getting me on the other line. I'm going to share my contact information in the chat. We have a few updates we want to share with the group. The first one is some legislative updates that are coming up. We've introduced a few new constituent services related bills, which is great because these are things that I worked on in the office from people in our ward who called us, and we kind of turned those issues into legislation to improve services in the ward. The first one is there's a bill that would require DPW to issue notices to ANCs and give them great weight in the decision to remove public litter cans. There's been a bunch of litter cans disappearing across the ward, and DPW has been removing cans that were being misused. And we want DPW to let ANCs know before they remove cans, especially if the better option might be some educational things or adding a new can, another can, so people can actually throw away their trash. So that's one bill. The other bill would require DPR, Department of Parks and Rec, to provide equal weekend access for all indoor pools at least one day each weekend. So a lot of pools are closed. We're going to open more pools. And then the other one will be related to how DC Public Schools and DGS coordinate on school maintenance, and will require DGS to get affirmative approval from school level staff members before closing any work order ticket in a school. So if a school has an issue, it's reported, they cannot close out the ticket unless the principal or a member of the staff at the school approves that work order being closed. So that will make sure and hopefully have some oversight on issues at our schools and make sure they actually get resolved. Coming up, we have a really exciting update for the Green New Deal for Housing Act, which will create social housing in DC. The bill is scheduled for a hearing on November 22nd. That is a change. It was originally November 17th, but the Committee on Housing has rescheduled the hearing for the 22nd, which is a Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. So social housing, if you don't know, is publicly owned mixed income housing with sustainable elements. So you can sign up to testify at housing@dccouncil.gov. And I have a link with more information about the bill in the other bill that was introduced alongside it related to lead pipe replacement. What else is going on? The general election is tomorrow. We have a whole page where you can find more information about the general election that I'm going to share and where you can vote. And finally, leaf collection is currently happening. You can either put your leaves on the side of the road or use paper bags. Either one can work. It's up to you. And finally, please sign up for our newsletter. And also we look forward to partnering with everyone here with the turkey giveaway. We're doing that here in Lamond-Riggs and also at Emory. So super excited for those events. And that's it. So have a great night. If you need anything, just give me a call, email. You can text my phone number I shared. Barbara, you're muted.
You're still muted, President Rogers.
Muted. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, I'm on a different computer, so I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that if you're not on Councilmember George's email, please get on her email, because I saw that she sent out an email already to the neighborhood in which they will be collecting leaves this week. So that's a good reminder to people, because I know in our neighborhood, I think they come something the 20th. But it's always good to have a reminder. So thank you so much, Jim. Any questions for Jim? Tish, are there any in the chat?
I don't see any questions in the chat.
Okay, Jim gets off easy today. Thank you so much, Jim. Okay, do we have anyone here from Council Member Kenyon McDuffie's office? Nope. Okay. I'm sure everybody is busy with the voting tomorrow. So now we're going to go to our ANC commissioners. We have Allison Brooks.
Good evening. I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
So, thank you, everyone. This is this month will be our last ANC meeting for the calendar year. That meeting will be held on the fourth Monday of the month, which I guess some would consider interferes with the Thanksgiving holiday, but it is virtual. And so we invite everyone out to that meeting. In our last meeting, we had the pleasure of giving out money to some organizations that had completed grant applications. So we were able to give LRCA a grant, as you mentioned earlier in the meeting, and so we're looking forward to your being able to use that to your advantage. We will offer grants in the spring as well, so you have to be on the lookout for the next notification for grant requests. Unfortunately, LRCA would not be able to apply because you have to wait a calendar year before you can apply, but other organizations will have an opportunity to seek funding if they're interested in doing that. Last month's meeting was probably the shortest meeting on record. It'll never be that short again. It was 1 hour long. We had several, similar to this meeting, had some cancellations from presenters. So it allowed us to get through our business rather quickly and allow people to get into their evening. I don't have any real highlights from that meeting. I'm happy to take any questions. Full disclaimer, I've been unable to be out and about for the last several weeks. So I've been remote for a lot of the activities that we have going on in the community, and hopefully I'll be out and about again in the near future. I can put my contact information in the chat if anyone has any questions, and look forward to talking to anyone that reaches out. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Allison. Any questions for Allison? Thank you so much, Allison.
All right.
All right. Is LaRoya Huff, Commissioner Huff on? LaRoya Huff?
I am. So good evening, everyone. Just a few things that are happening in 4BL9. Ms. Ford will be, well, she was asked to present last month, but I see that she did prepare. She lives in the, help me out, Allison, I want to say the 600 block of Oglethorpe, and she is looking to get support for having, I don't know the term to use, but having some teenage girls live in her home. And so that's one thing. She said she did reach out to the neighbors close by. So I'll follow up on that to see if there's, I've heard from some people that aren't in support, but just to follow that through. Also wanted to mention, in talking to Miss V tonight, she needs support from anyone that will support her remaining at Culture Coffee 2. The lease expires November 30. So I will put my contact information in the chat as well, and who the letter goes to if you are in support. As you know, Culture Coffee 2 has been a hub for our community to have events and that type of thing. I think you showed earlier the clips from Art All Night, which she brought to our community. Also, the Safeway Senior Feast of Sharing will happen again this year at the Convention Center for Seniors, except this year it won't be a sit-down event. They'll distribute bags. I will make sure to get Angie a copy of this and then get some of these flyers at the rec for anybody that's interested. Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. Also want to shout out to my block captain, Mac, for her hard work in working with the rodent abatement, trash. I call her our Felix Unger, but she's on it, and she does it with such great attitude. And lastly, I am doing a coat drive. So it's not so much new coats, but if new coats people want to donate, my day job is with the mayor's office on returning citizens. And so in that role, I'm collecting coats for returning citizens, their families. And as well, I'll share on the 3rd of December and the 10th. I'll be having some pop-ups, and I'll continue to do that format. Because we have a lot of great talents, and people will be sharing their wares. And of course, I'll do my Christmas party. Are there any questions?
Just a couple of things I want to just say about what you just reported. For that senior, maybe look into maybe college students. We do have some college students in that came to my mind when you said maybe some college students. They are, responsible and looking to, have cheaper rent. But that's just a suggestion. And then also, LaRoya, for her coat drive, you all should be on LRCA's listserv. She'll be, I'm sure, putting a flyer and more information on our listserv. So if you're not on our listserv, please make sure you join the listserv.
There's a question in the chat about the coats.
So currently I am going to set a date. So let me just go ahead and throw that out before looking at a calendar. I'll put it in the chat, but I'm collecting coats as we speak. So I have coats, I have new socks. There's a group, oh God, I can't think of the name because I want to. It's under DHS Adams Place. They go out and take packages to folks that are out on the street in these encampments. But the coats I found, I need a 5X. That's going to be a hard one to fill. But, a lot of these people live in shelters. A lot of them live outside. A lot of them are just in transition. So I will more than likely use the warehouse space where I had my Christmas party last year. So I will get the word out. But if you guys can look, if you're purging in your homes, it doesn't matter if it's children, etc. I also work with Martha's Table.
Okay,
So,
LaRoya, the question is, where should the coats be delivered?
Currently, I will give my address, 524 Nicholson Street, Northeast. Phone number 202-704-2427. And so at that point, there's going to be a latter time that I'm going to have the warehouse, because they have racks and you can just hang them up and they can be consolidated. I don't want to fill my living room up, but if you have them, please give me a call. I'll pick them up. I'll take them over to Southeast where I am, and we'll go through it. We're also doing a Christmas drive, but for Return to Citizen, but I'm using another source since I do one at home. But any questions, please give me a call, 202-704-2427. These are winter items, hats, gloves, coats.
Right.
We want to keep folks warm.
Okay, LaRoya, someone says, okay, you put your information, Allison put your information in the chat because someone says that they have a 5X.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they have
Roy,
your,
give your address one more time and I'll type that too. It's 524, right?
Right, Nicholson Street, Northeast.
see what we do when we come together.
Oh yeah, that guy will be
Okay.
so happy. My God.
Okay, well, thank you so much, LaRoya.
No, thank you guys.
All right. All right, so we're going to move on to our speakers. We don't want to keep them all night. We have Miss Essie Bowman. Miss Bowman, are you on? Maybe she's not on yet. I will text her. She is the new site manager at the Lamond Recreation Center.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here.
Yeah,
Thank
but I
you
just
so-
didn't know how to unmute myself. I was like, oh boy. How are you
Okay.
all doing this evening? Hello, everybody.
You can start your report.
Okay, I am so grateful to be a part of this meeting. I heard so many great things already. I'm like, I'm in a good place. So for our Lamond, we have coming up, we have the DPR Senior Super Bowl at Capitol Plaza on the 14th. So anybody interested in signing up for that, they can come over to Lamond and sign up. There will be transportation. Alamo movie at Wakanda Forever is going to be on the 15th. Limited
That's
amount
nice.
of tickets. And then we have the turkey giveaway, which you already mentioned, which is on the 19th. And we're so excited about that. I'm thinking about things that we can do to try to enhance it and trying to see what other things I can glean from the community to go along with that.
Okay.
Also, we have Miss Kiana, which is one of the new recreational specialists. She's gonna have a lunch for the seniors on the 21st, and it's Kiana Cook for Lamont on 11/21, and that's gonna be at 12:30. So
Okay.
I'm excited about meeting you guys and excited about what you all are doing, and just glad to be here. Also, I want to say that there are about 10 kids that are in the community that are part of our DOES program, which they get $300 a month for being an intern. And so we have different kids from the schools in the neighborhood, kids that live across from in the neighborhood, in the community, in the Ward 4 community, in this Lamont area, that have been picked up to be a paid intern.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful about that. Some of them have started receiving their letters today, stated that they were chosen for the program. So I'm excited about that. So maybe some of your grandkids or your nieces or nephews or your children may have been a part of it. Also, we're available to give high school students community service hours. So if you're looking to figure out where they can go, they can come to Lamont. Thank you
Okay.
all so much. Nice meeting you all.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Bowman. Again, she's the new site manager, and I reached out to her, and she has just been, again, so helpful. She answers her phone, she returns your call. So welcome, Ms. Bowman, to this community. Any questions for Ms. Bowman? Okay, now we're going to move on to Mr. David Gaston. Again, David, thank you so much. I reached out to him today once we got the cancellation, and he was like, sure, whatever I can do. David, are you on? David? All right, I will text David. Maybe he's having some difficulties. Next, is Edwin Washington on?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna move to you, Edwin. We have Edwin Washington, who is the executive director of the Great Parks Main Street. Edwin, take it away.
Thank you so much, President Rogers. Just a few things. Just want to update. There's a lot of dates flying around from everyone, and I think I'll just add to it. There's a couple of things. One, we will be releasing our 2022 annual report as we start our 5th program year. So those of you who may be interested in receiving a copy of our annual report via email or so, I'll be putting my email in the chat. And we'll be releasing that in about a week or so. Our newsletter, which we now will be going quarterly, we'll be releasing that sometime the week of the 20th of November. Holiday Lights is coming up. This is our 3rd year of doing Holiday Lights. This is the way in which we can light up the corridors in Manor Park and here in Riggs Park. That's going to be starting November 18th and going till January 8th. We'll start voting. The voting will end somewhere around December 14th or so. More information on that. We are recruiting judges. So we can have representation from Riggs Park and Manor Park. And we are also looking for a youth judge here in Riggs Park, as we will also have one in Manor Park. Black Friday is coming up November 25th. Small Business Saturday is November 26th. Giving Tuesday is November 29th. We will be having holiday pop-ups that will be showcasing local vendors and makers in Riggs Park and over in Manor Park. We'll be doing that in December. I do want to thank LRCA because I was honored to, on behalf of the Parks Main Street, honored to receive the Community Leader, one of the Community Leader Awards. So thank you for that. As many of you may know, that Vanilla Powell Bean, DC Hat Lady, passed away. She was 103. The Parks Main Street, we attended that going home services at Gethsemane Baptist Church. Certainly Ms. Bean was a iconic African-American business owner operating more than 50 years. That's kind of the my update right now. We are in the process of more volunteers for these different events, but I will put my information in the chat box if anyone wants to receive our newly minted annual report and to get on our newsletter list. But again, thank you everyone who came out. I know I mentioned it in October at our October meeting, but the annual Art All Night went well. That was hosted by the Parks Main Street, and we had in 6 different locations. And certainly Culture Coffee 2 was our again our welcome center, as well as the VIP room was a welcome center over in Manor Park. We are working with Culture Coffee 2, Ms. V. Commissioner Huff mentioned about her lease. We've been working through that for the last 7 or 8 months, and we'll get the information as we go on. They are, Ms. V is looking to take some rest. And Commissioner Brooks, I'll see you in March on the new grant opportunities.
Great. Thank you so much, Edwin. I do have one question. Any other questions for Edwin? But Edwin, do you know if the hat store will stay open over in Manor Park?
Okay, very good, very good. Well, the Benet, which is the Benet Millinery and wedding supplies with Miss Dean is owned. There are some challenges there.
Okay.
And we actually have been working with them for over a year now. And we also, Director Christy Whitfield and I, we had a chance to chat just very briefly during the going home services, and we're working with the granddaughter Jenny Henson to see what we can do there. But there are some challenges there, but we're looking to mobilize all efforts that we can, whether or not they'll be will they'll continue over there or not. So more to come there, but that has been something we've been working through with as many resources as possible for over the last year or so. But certainly her untimely going home has just accelerated everything.
Sure, sure. Any other questions for Edwin? Okay. Thank you so much, Edwin. We are going to move. I did text David to see if he was able to actually hop on. So we're actually going to move now to committees. LRCA, as you know, we have many committees. Please join a committee, get involved. We're going to start with, we're going to let Miss Barbara Carter give us an update on the 75th anniversary of LRCA that will be next year. Miss Barbara?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, good. We're just doing a save the date right now. We have set the celebration of the 75th year of the existence and active community participation of the LRCA. The date is April the 22nd, 2023, from noon to 2 at the rec, at Lamond-Riggs Rec. And we're working on the plans. We're trying to get the details together, and you will get further information in the very near future. And when we actually come up with the plans, we will need the assistance of all of you to help get the word out. So keep that in mind, that we will be asking you to participate by helping to get the word out and being in attendance at it on April the 22nd, 2023 at the rec center from noon to 2. That's it. That's the same date.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara. So again, you all, this is going to be a big event. We want everybody to be a part of it. We want to welcome everybody to participate. And again, details will be forthcoming. All right, we're going to move to the development task force. Is it going to be Mr. Oliver, Robert Oliver?
Yes. Just want to say greetings to everybody, and I'm glad that to be involved with such a vibrant group who gets a lot of work done. What I wanted to talk about is the land that we are trying to activate. It is southwest of the intersection of Riggs Road and South Dakota Avenue Northeast. The land and I'll give you a picture of it. Give me 1 second. The land basically was from when they made a T to close off the ramp. So the old ramp that used to bring traffic from South Dakota Avenue onto Riggs Road, or I should say rather Riggs Road onto South Dakota Avenue, was changed so that to make it a square. And in the process of making it a square, they basically provided more land, which the community felt that we could use to to our benefit. What happened was on the, this is a process that started back in 2007 when LRCA first met with the developers and discussed what they called a community benefits agreement. And since then, we've been doing a lot of steps to bring this whole thing to fruition. And one of the things that was done at this point, we had a site experience event on September the 24th, where we asked people to walk on the land, re-envision what you thought it should look like, and then in turn, basically let everyone know through a survey what you thought was best. We collected nearly 200 responses on that survey. And if you just give me a moment, I will pop up some of the information that you can review in terms of the land. Give me 1 second here. Okay, can everybody see that? If not, let me
I don't see it,
all right,
but
give me 1 second here. A mistake. Okay, let me jump into Zoom. All right, well, at any rate, let me go ahead further. At any rate, what happened was we got the survey results back, and the top 3 choices that we had walked away with or came away with was one, a walking path that encircles a exercise fitness course with various exercise stations, and the path itself will double both as a jogging track and as, again, just a plain path. Second option was to maintain the path, but maybe have community signage and historic markers. Then lastly, third option was an interactive arts and sculptures, again, on the path. When we actually did the survey, the #1 item that came up was actually a farmer's market. We had to take a hard look at the farmer's market because UDC has tried a farmer's market twice, and they're going into their 3rd iteration. And we did not want to be in a position where we competed against them. So we thought it best to allow them to stay with their plans of having a farmer's market while we looked at the track and walking area, which many people thought was a good second choice. Also, what was not on the list, but came up a lot, was a dog park. And I want to say in terms of a dog park, one is coming, but it's not going to be on this area in particular. At the intersection of 4th and Kennedy Street, which is part of the Hayfritz Foundation land, they will, or they have promised to build a dog park there. So a dog park will be within a block of that site. So that's one of the reasons why we are not entertaining a dog park there. So at this point in time, we're going to send the 3 options to EYA. They're going to provide a group that will actually draw these items and provide professional diagrams that we can use to present to the city to give them some idea of what we would like to see on this land. So that is where we are currently at right now with this project. And I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Zach Ammerman, because he was the designer of the original flyer that we use to get this whole process started. So if there's any questions, please, I'd like to hear them.
Mr. Sean Thompson has his hand up.
Okay, hi, Mr. Thompson, if you'd like to speak.
Good evening. Is that the land that is currently being developed that you're talking
That's
about?
the land that is across the street from the development, the buildings that are being developed. They're on the opposite side of the street where you see the EYA and the townhomes that are being sold. We're the lot that's on the opposite side where the Food and Friends are.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
it's the grassy area, the land that is right in front of Food and Friends, that area.
Okay, that little parcel. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. Any other questions for Mr. Oliver?
Okay,
Okay.
I finally got it up. This is it.
Oh.
Does everybody see this?
We see it now, yes.
Okay, this is the land that I'm talking about, and over to the far right is the development that's taking place. The area that's shaded is the actual land itself that we're looking at developing for the community in some way, shape, or form. Below that is the Food and Friends facility, and behind the Food and Friends facility on the K-Fritz property, you will find the dog park. So this is the area that we're talking about. As you can see, it's 1.5 acres, and this whole area at one point in time, if you can kind of see the trees, between the trees, there was an actual paved road. And this upper part was actually a cement island that allowed people to cross the street. So when the land was developed on the opposite side, when they made the T, which is right in here, they filled in both this area and the land on the opposite side. And we're looking to see that this land becomes usable for the community in some way, shape, or form. Also, just to give you some background, one of the things the community did not want was any type of attractions for children. And there for two basic reasons. One, these streets are very congested and very busy. And this turning lane here, as you come down Riggs Road and make the right, is not the safest. And so it can be problematic. Also, there was a concern, even from the mayor's office, that someday there may be a horrific accident in which a car may come into this area. So we did not want, under any circumstances, children being involved in any type of issue. So we're looking at more of keeping the space green, keeping the space with a path of some type, and more adult-orientated type of activities or features. So those are the type of things that we're looking at for this. And so that was part of the selection of the three options that I had mentioned earlier. And let me see if I can get one more picture. And Zach, I think you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were planning on, or maybe you already have, put the results of the survey anywhere. I would just be curious to look them over personally, but.
Yes, the results are.
Results are currently online. If you go to lrcadc.org, you will actually find a link on the homepage.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and the second picture, it shows the actual placement of the dog park. The dog park is number 4, and this is the K-Fritz property. This is South Dakota Avenue. This is Ingraham here, Kennedy Street here, and as you head.
Well, I'm still seeing the same picture. What about
Okay, let
anybody
me,
else?
my mistake. Let me bring that in.
Okay.
All right. It should do it. Different picture? You have it?
Now we have it. Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. This is Ingraham, South Dakota, Kennedy. If you head up Kennedy towards 4th Street, which back in this area are the actual schools. I think they're more so on this side. The 2 public charter schools. This is where the dog park will be. And so I don't have a lot of information on it, but there is one coming, and that's why we did not say push a dog park on the other property, because it would be within 2 blocks of one another. So that was the reason for that.
There's a-
Go
there's
right
a
ahead,
question-
Tisha.
There's a question in the chat from Connie. Will there be parking available for the purpose usage?
At this point in time, I would say not. What we can do is ask that question, but right now, I don't see any parking that would be made available should whatever is built there is built there. So I would still look for it still being a grassy area that is most likely available by foot only. One other thing I would like to add, and this came up recently, was that the DDOT is also looking at this area to make it what they would call a trailhead. And so what that basically means is that if everyone sees the
Yes.
okay, good. Over on the opposite side of this bridge is the entrance to the Fort Totten Metro Station. And there is the end or entrance rather to the Metropolitan Branch Trail. And what DDOT is thinking of doing is extending a path that would come down Riggs Road here and come into this lot somewhere. And they would have signage and information letting the community know that this is the beginning of the trailhead for the Metropolitan Branch Trail. And they're looking at
But Mr. Oliver, I think it's actually going to go up closer. It's being proposed to go up closer to the corner, closer to South Dakota. It's not going to come in between here. It's supposed to go down and come closer to the corner. And then at that point, I think the bike trail will be on the sidewalk.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the right lane coming down to South Dakota, and then somehow it goes over and gets on the sidewalk is what they are currently proposing. And we are planning to have maybe we'll try to get DDOT out at the next meeting to kind of talk about this. It is all, you know, just being talked about kind of now. And that way they can hear from the community on this as well.
There's another question in the chat.
All right, go right ahead.
From Mr. Sean Thompson again. Since there is a known safety issue, is there a proposal by the city to secure the area with some sort of traffic barrier?
I would say that that is a proposal that we are going to make to the city, in that we would like to see some what they would call them bollards or something because of the potential risk. So that is a proposal that we're going to make. And there have been other proposals in that people would like to see this area, one, have clear sight lines. So you can see where you're going and there's no blind spots. They'd also like to see if people are using it at dusk or early dawn. Just say if we put a jogging track in and they just jog in circles, that there are some lights or something. So there's, you know, some illumination. So the basic amenities we would like to see in there for safety's sake. So yes, we will definitely push that issue with the city, and whatever is decided upon the final product. Well, there we will keep traffic in mind, because there have been a lot of individuals who had cited that crossing either South Dakota or Riggs is dangerous in their opinion, and they would like to see traffic calming measures also implemented to slow down traffic to make this whole experience of crossing the street much safer than it currently is.
And there's a next question by, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, apologies, Badia Suda, who wants to please recap the 3 uses for the 1.5 acres.
Okay, the 3 uses are as follows. It is a walking path that encircles an exercise fitness course featuring exercise stations, and the path can double as a jogging track. Secondly, there would be some type of path, but it would be lined more so with community signage and historic markers. These historic markers would provide information on people who have historic significance to this community. And then lastly, again, having some type of path with maybe some landscaping and what have you, with interactive art and possibly sculptures. So again, these are all suggestions. What we're asking the developer to do is to take these suggestions and do a kind of mock-up with artists giving us a visual as to what these would look like. And then we would take these visuals at some point, have the community look at them, make a decision on which one the community wants the most. And then from there, the next step would be going to the appropriate city and other officials to make this a reality. So those are the 3 options. Any more questions?
Okay, any more questions for Mr. Oliver? Great questions, great questions. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you.
Tish, do you have a bylaws committee update?
I do.
And I
hello.
just want to check, did David come on?
I did not see David.
Okay.
Okay,
Floor is
well,
all yours.
hello, LRCA. I am Tisha Cockrell, and I am the chair of the bylaws committee. So I just wanted to give a brief update. We did have a meeting on Sunday, October 30th. Someone needs to be muted.
Yeah, Angie's on it, I'm sure.
All right, thanks. Sunday, October 30th, to revise our bylaws. We'll have a portion that we will be bringing to the body for a vote. Until then, our new proposed timeline will be to have the bylaws edited for changes and bringing them to the body for review February 2023, to vote on them on March 2023. And that's where we are in regards to the bylaws committee. In regards to Friends of Riggs LaSalle Recreation Center, I think winter programming is up and going, so I will be sending out emails in regards to that. And you saw our pictures from the Halloween function we just recently had. And just a note of correction, Barbara, the Boys and Girls Club gave us those donations for Lamond-Riggs Citizens Association and Friends of. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. Do we have any other committee chairs? Those were the ones I heard from that wanted to report out. Do we have any other committee chairs that want to report out?
Just a quick announcement regarding the membership committee and the communication committee. We are looking for people to participate in both of those committees. So if you're interested, feel free to send me an email. I'll drop my email in the comments, angelin@lrcadc.org. Thank you.
All right, and I do want to report that Angela is actually going to resume the duties of the second vice president. She has already been doing the work the last program year. So she will be the second vice president going forward. We are in need of a recording secretary. As you all know, we don't get paid for doing this. And, people do have personal lives. And so we do understand that, people have to, move on. So we do have a recording secretary position available. If anyone is interested in joining, please, reach out to us. Okay, any other committee chair have anything to report out to?
Good evening, Reverend Mays. I don't have anything to report, but I have a request for anyone desiring to help out or join the senior committee. We need members. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other committee chair want to report out?
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry too. I wanted to make mention, I don't know if this is the right time, but one of our seniors' car was stolen in the last 2 weeks, and she is handicapped from in front of her door. From in front of her door. So that's the third car that's been stolen off of Oglethorpe Street.
Oh, wow. I am so sorry to hear that. I know she reported it and everything. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Thank you so much, Reverend Mays, for that. If we don't have anything else, we can adjourn the meeting. Anybody have any other questions? I want to, for you all to have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe.
Sorry, there is one question that just popped up in the chat.
Okay.
Trey Kennedy asks, is there an LRCA youth sports program in place? If not, I'm willing to volunteer with anyone else to host basketball tryouts, workouts for any youth that are interested at Lamond-Riggs gym. Hopefully there can be enough participation to compete in the DPR Winter League. I can answer that. I would say, and anyone else that would like to answer or add to my answer, you can reach out to Shirlita Settles. I can put her email in the chat. And I'm sure she knows if they're still doing basketball there or if they already have something going or if you can help in any way.
Yeah. And I think we did have Rick, who was a big part of that, actually was transferred. So this sounds like perfect timing. We actually do have a youth committee, but our rec centers do such a great job, that we just coordinate with them. So I would say, I would piggyback what Tish said, and that is to reach out to Ms. Settles and see where you could help. And thank you so much for willing to help. I do see Sean Thompson has his hand up, or is that?
There is another question in the chat.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry. Hold on, Sean. Go ahead, Tish.
Darlene wants to know what part of Oglethorpe Street was the incident.
500 block.
Thanks. And then Sean's hand is up.
Good evening. How you doing? I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No. All right. I missed the front part of when they were talking about the rat collection in the trash cans. I know I contacted 311 about the trash cans, but is there a contact person for us? Because it's been like over 60 days and I know my mother still hasn't received a can yet. And we put a request in last year for one and we still didn't get one. So is there anyone that we can speak to or?
Yeah, Sean, if you want to give me a card, give me a call. I do have a card from a person there. So it's 202-904-1027.
Can you type that in? I'm currently driving, so and
sure.
To be moving all that way I can
sure.
at least copy and paste it. Thank you.
Also, where is the issue? What SMD is it in? What's your address?
540 Nicholson Street.
540 Nicholson. You're in 4B09?
Yes,
Okay, so you're crossing the rec?
yes, right across from the wreck.
Awesome. 540. Okay. So you can contact me as well because we did an extensive walkthrough and identified trash cans, neighbors. We was up 10 of us outside all through that area, up and down. Some of the powers that be have changed, but I could work with Mr. Mays directly.
Okay.
All right. Do you know how to contact me?
No, I do not.
Okay. I'll put it in the chat, but you're at 540 Nicholson. I'll make sure I stop by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, LaRoya.
Yeah,
And I
of
did,
course.
okay, and I did want to mention, and people may know, there were changes in the boundaries for ANC. You know, LaRoya was previously ANC commissioner for 4B09. She is now running for the commissioner for 4B10. So people need to be aware that the boundaries changed a little bit. So just, I mean, you'll see on your ballot, but don't be surprised for people who may live close to me that you will see LaRoya's name on the ballot. Because there were changes to the boundaries. So I was just asking to be aware of that. You can always go online and see what the new boundaries, you know, were changed to.
So it actually split, Barbara, right across the street from my home at 524. So my split goes now into Kansas Avenue. So the Riggs Park portion changed significantly.
Yeah. So the new 4B10 goes from Nicholson all the way down to Eastern, over across New Hampshire, over to Kansas. That is the new, we had to create a new commission because there was so much growth in 4B. So just a little background. So there is a new commission and it's 4B10. We previously only went up to 4B09. So we do have a new 4B10. Any other questions or comments? If not, we will adjourn this meeting. And again, I thank you all for attending the meeting tonight, taking time out your busy schedule. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you all. Enjoy your families and be safe.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Be safe.
Night all. Happy Thanksgiving. How do I end this?
Yes, it leaves meeting.